So I'll go. I will endure to die. But I pray that I get a fatal blow, so that I can close my eyes without a struggle, my blood streaming forth in an easy death.
So wretched, and yet so wise, dear girl. That was a long speech. But if you really do know your own fate, how can you walk with courage to the altar like a cow driven by God?
There is no escape, no time left.
At least the last is first in time.
The day has come. I wouldn't gain much by running away.
You should know that you endure because of your brave spirit.
No lucky person ever hears such praise.
But it is a gift to die gloriously.
You, Father, for you, your poor noble children.
What's the matter now? What terror turns you back?
Phil,
Why this fail? From darkness in your
the
thoughts?
house breathes blood-dripping murder.
So what? It's only the smell of the sacrifices by the hearth.
It's just like the stench from a grave.
You're sure you're not speaking of the house's Syrian incense?
I will go into the house to mourn my death and Agamemnon's. Enough of life! Strangers, I'm not trembling at a bush like some startled bird. When I have died, remember this. A woman will die for a woman, me. And a man will die for an ill-wedded man. I ask who's one about to die.
Poor girl, I pity your divine destiny.
I want to speak, one last time, my own funeral song. May my avenger repay the enemy together with those who slayed me. A slave, an easy conquest. The affairs of men. When things are going well, they're just sketches. And when disaster strikes, a wet sponge destroys the picture. I pity these things more than those.
It's natural for men to be dissatisfied with prosperity. No one points at the halls and says, keep out.
Gods gave him leave to take prime city, and he comes home God-honored.
But now he must pay for blood shed before.
And die for those who've died?
And bring about a penalty of other deaths.
Who could boast to be born of good luck when he hears such a thing?
What? Who yells?
To judge by the king's cries, it seems the deed has been done. Let's confer together. Perhaps there is some safe plan.
I'll tell you what I think. Let's call the citizens here to the house to help. I think we should fall upon them now and catch them in the act and find proof with the bloody murder weapon still in their hands.
I think so too. I vote for action. This is no time for delay.
It's clear that they're planning to set themselves up as tyrants over this city.
We're wasting time while they're making haste. They'll walk all over delay. They're not letting their hands lay idle.
I don't know what we should do. It's up to the man of action to decide.
I agree. I don't know how to make the dead stand up again.
What? Are we just going to give in to those who desecrated the house? Let them be our leaders? Just so we can stretch out our lives?
Intolerable. Death would be better. A lighter fate than tyranny. Are we really going to guess that the king's been murdered based on some noises?
We should decide only once we know for sure. Guessing is different than knowing.
I think the majority of us agree. We should find out what happened to Agamemnon.
before to suit the occasion, and I will feel no shame to say the opposite now. For how else could one set up a net of ruin at a height too high to overleap? To plan hateful things for hated foes who appear to be friends. This contest of old grudges, I've been thinking about it for a long time. It has finally come. So I stand where I struck, now that I've done it. So I did it, and I won't deny it. It could not escape, ward off his death. He was like a fish caught in the cast of my inescapable net. The tapestry's evil wealth. So I struck him twice, and with 2 screams his limbs went slack. And I added a 3rd blow after he had fallen, as my votive offering to Zeus below the earth, the savior of the dead. So he fell and gasped out his life, breathing out a sharp spurt of blood. He splashed me with a dark sputtering of bloody dew, and I rejoiced no less than sown corn exults in Zeus-sent rain when its buds are bursting. This is how it is, you old Argive men. Rejoice if you will rejoice. I revel in it. If it was right for a libation to be poured over the corpse, then it would have been done justly, more than justly. That man filled the mixing bowl of this house full of foul curses. And now, he's come home and drained the cup dry.
We're staggered at your tongue, your insolent mouth, you who gloats over your husband.
You're testing me like I'm some mindless woman. But I will speak with my fearless heart that which you already know. Whether you praise me or blame me, it's all the same to me. Here lies Agamemnon, my husband, corpse. The deed of this right hand, a just workman. So there you have it.
What vile birth-bred food have you tasted, woman, or drink drawn from the flowing sea, that you bring this sacrifice upon yourself, along with a curse to the people, crying out? You threw him away and cut him away, and away you'll be banished, hated heavily by the citizens.
Ah, I see. Now you demand my exile, and the citizens' hatred and curses as a punishment for me. You didn't bring any charges against him then. This man, he didn't care, as if it was only the death of some beast. No matter. Plenty of sheep in the fleecy flock. Sacrificed his own child, my nearest labor. Used her as a charm against the blasting Thracian winds. Shouldn't you have banished him from house and home, from this land, as payment for his pollution? No. You're only a harsh judge when you hear what I've done. So go on and threaten away. I'm ready to be ruled if you win out. But if a god brings it about the other way around, then you'll learn a too late lesson in self-control.
Aren't you high-minded, arrogant when you speak? Your mind is driven mad by your blood-spattering deed. That stain of blood still hangs upon your cheek. If you'll pay for this, losing all of your friends, blow for blow.
Listen to the justice of my oaths. By justice for what happened to my child. By ruin and by the Furies for whom I slaughtered this man. My expectations don't walk in fear's house, so long as Aegisthus keeps the fire ablaze in my heart with the same warm heart he's shown to me before. He's no small shield of confidence. Here is the man who did me wrong. Every girl's sweetheart under the Trojan walls. And here is a spear captive, soothsayer, bed sharer, faithful prophetic slut, hounding the seamen's vengeance like the rest. But they didn't come off without compensation. For here he is, and here she lies. A swan! She sang her last death song and made such a dainty addition to my bed.
God, you, the one that falls upon this house and the double descendants of Tantalus, you rule through like-minded women and gnaw away at my heart. Look how she stands over his body like a wild crow. She squawks her ugly song.
Now you fix that mouth of yours by naming this family's thrice-glutted god. He's the one who inspires such blood-lapping lust deep down inside. Before an old pain dies, there's new blood.
I'm at a loss. With the house crumbling, don't know where to turn. I fear the bloody rumble of the rain beating down on the house. The drizzle has stopped. Fate sharpens justice against the whetstone for another harmful deed. Your word. If only you had swallowed me up before I had seen this man spread on the pallet of the Silverside bathtub. Who will bury him? Who will sing his funeral song? Would you dare to do this? Would you lead the lament for your husband when you're the one who killed him? Will you unjustly offer a non-gift to his soul in return for his great deeds? Who will send praise over the tomb along with their tears for this godlike man? And do the job with a true heart.
It's no concern of yours. We killed him, and we will bury him. Not with the laments of this household, but with the glad greeting of his daughter Iphigenia. She will meet her father at grief's swift-sailing ferry, throw her arms round about him and kiss him.
Blame meets blame, and it's difficult to decide. The plunderer is plundered, the killer pays in full. While Zeus stays on the throne, the law remains that he who does the deed will suffer the consequence. Who will throw out this cursed reed from the house? The family is bound to ruin.
You've come upon this oracle in truth, and I'm willing to swear an oath to the gods of the house of Pleistanus that I will be satisfied with these things hard to bear as they are. From now on, I hope he leaves this house. Wears down some other family with kin-slaying kin. A small bit of wealth is enough for me if I can send from these halls the madness of murder for murder.